Welcome back to my channel. If you're watching for the very first time, if you stumbled across this channel, if this channel was recommended to you by someone, I just want to welcome you. I appreciate the fact that you have decided to watch this video. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. And if you've been watching for a while since we started uploading, I just want to welcome you back. Also, I must say a huge thank you to all the persons who have subscribed, all the persons who have been supporting me for the longest while. I just want to say a huge thank you. So without any further ado, before I go any further, I just want to ask you, please make sure you subscribe. Don't just watch and not subscribe. I want you to subscribe. On the right hand side of your screen, I think it's my left, on the right hand side of your screen, you'll definitely see a red subscribe button. Hit the subscribe bell. Hit the subscribe button rather, and tap the notification bell, so as soon as I upload a video, you'll be the first to get notified. You won't miss any content. Also, I want you to comment. Let me tell you something. When you comment, I look forward to reading your comments. It makes my day. When I see the comments, I read all of them, and I respond to almost everyone. So I look forward to the conversations we'll have in the comment section. So don't forget to subscribe. So now, without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. By the title of this video, you already know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking to the pastors mainly, and or leaders. I'm not even sure what I'm going to name this video yet, but by the title, you'll already know what we're talking about. So one of the things I want you to understand, especially if you are a pastor or you are a minister, especially pastors, there are many things that are not usually spoken about. There's some things that pastor undergoes that they don't really talk about publicly, and I can understand. But one of the things I want you guys to understand is that being a pastor, it's not easy. I can speak from experience. This August I will be pastoring for, well, April made a year. I've been pastoring for a year, and from this little experience, I know I haven't been pastoring for many years like some generals, but from the year that I have gathered, I have truly gained a lot of experience. And I do know that if you're a pastor, you may understand that it is a lot of work, especially for some of the pastors who they are pastors. For the women, let's speak about the women or the men, doesn't really matter. But let's say for women, example, women pastors. They're a pastor, they're a mother, they have children, they're also a wife because they have a husband. Some of them have a job, so they work on the outside of church. They go to work, they do their 8 to 5, just the same. For those who don't do 8 to 5, they have their own businesses, they have to go to business. Some of them have some of them they still have to come to church, they still have to do counseling on the side, plus they have church, they have Sunday service, they have night service, they have Bible studies, fasting, prayer meeting, they're still doing counseling. There's literally so much that goes on in the life of a pastor. And while the pastor is juggling all these responsibilities, they also have their own issues that they're dealing with. They have their own bills, their own problems, their own issues, their own struggles. But while doing all of this, they still have to maintain themselves, and they still have to represent as a child, a woman, or a man of God. And so there are just a few tips I'm going to be sharing with you. If you are a pastor, I'll share some very valuable, life-changing tips with you. The first one I want you to know is And the reason why I'm doing this is because I know a lot of pastors who are struggling, a lot of pastors who are depressed, a lot of pastors who are tired, who are worn out and weary. And this is what I want you to understand, that you're not alone. There's always someone you can talk to. You're not going through this alone, and it's not going to be forever. However, if you are going through something, there are ways that you can deal with this. There are ways that you can overcome. And so just a few pointers, a few tips that I will share with you. The first one is, pastor, you can't do everything by yourself. And as I said, if you see me looking down, I'm reading some pointers from my phone. The first one is, pastor, you can't do everything on your own. There's some pastors. Let's talk about it. You have some mega churches where you have a team for everything. You have the accountant, the secretary, the media persons, audio persons, video persons, the ushers, everyone that you could think about. It's almost like a business. And then you honestly have some of the smaller churches where the pastor has to be doing everything. It's not easy, and I would say to every pastor, you really can't do everything. You may be doing everything right now, but it is impossible for you to try to juggle doing everything on your own. What do I mean you can't do everything? It is hard for the pastor to prepare to come to church to preach, and before the pastor preaches, he's also he's greeting the persons as they come into church. He's doing praise and worship on his own. He's doing the welcome, the Bible reading, the announcements, and then he preaches, does the altar call. After church, he has baptism. And so he's doing everything on his own. If you do this, you will get tired and you will get burnout. There's something in ministry that we call burnout. If you have no help, you will get burnout at some point in time. My suggestion to you, if you're a pastor or a leader for a ministry or a group, is that you train people. If you have someone, spot out the gifted persons in your church. Train a worship team. Train someone to teach Sunday school. Train someone how to do the announcements and welcome. If you don't know how to train them, you can always bring in another minister. You could always bring in a team that will, a human resource team. I don't know what is that you have to do, but you can bring in someone that can help to train and equip your members, so that way you don't have to be doing everything in church, because really and truly it's not easy. Also, when you train people, I understand that some of you guys, you're very discouraged, because it's one thing to train people, but it's another thing where you train people but they're in discipline, and it becomes discouraging where you train, say you train a praise and worship team, or say you train an assistant pastor who should be able to assist you through the service. They're always late, they're never on time, they come to church when they feel like it, they don't want to do anything, they're very indisciplined. You can't count on them. That can be very discouraging as a minister. But I want you to understand that Rome wasn't built in one day. I'm sure you understand that term. Everything won't be done all at once. Some things take time. Some of you have been pastoring for a year, 2 years, 3 years. There hasn't been a lot of growth. There has been no movement forward. I want you to understand that things will get better and things will work out. What you need to do at this point is to begin to train a team. You need a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. If you understand what I'm saying, I want you to comment down below. Pastor, teamwork makes the dream work. You can't do everything on your own. Which is why in the Bible, Moses' father-in-law told him to go and anoint the 72 elders, so that way he would have help. So that's the first one. Don't try to do everything on your own. You can't do everything on your own. The second one, number 2, is don't try to be superhuman. I want you to understand this. Do not try to be superhuman. What do I mean, don't try to be superhuman? You can't help everybody. As a pastor, people will be up your sleeves every single day, needing help, needing something to be done. But I want you to understand, you can't help everyone. There will honestly be days where you will have to filter through your calls, filter through your messages. You will have to filter through what is life and death to what is urgent, versus someone saying to you that pastor, listen, people will call you to say, pastor, me book me tour, Pastor, I dream saw fishes. I think I'm pregnant. Pastor, it's raining too hard. I don't want to go to work. Pastor, the sun is too hot. I want to go to work. People will call you with all sorts of stuff, and some of these things can really wait. Now, if you are busy, or if you're tired, or if you have something going on, you will honestly have to learn to filter through these things. Address the thing that is most urgent, and so you'll be able to reach persons by filtering. And so you filter from the first call to the last call. You may not be able to get to everyone all at once, but never allow anyone to guilt trip you because you haven't responded to them, or because you haven't called them back, or you haven't tried to help them with their issue. Truth be told, you cannot help everyone. You are not sent to help everyone. I want you to understand that. Don't let nobody guilt trip you. Pastor, you never answer. Pastor, I was sick. Pastor, I'm about my tour, I'm call you. I thought you were a man of God. I thought you were sent to help the people. Listen. Some people will never get it. Some people will never understand. Some of the things that people call pastors for is literally out of this world. Pastor, the lightning is flashing and the thunder is rolling. Why does God do that? Why does the sun set in the east? Why does the sun go down in the west? Pastor, listen, if you're a pastor, you understand. And so filter through. You won't be able to help everyone. That's something I want you to understand. Don't pressure yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. The third one is people come and people go. If you've been in ministry, if you're a pastor, or you've worked closely to a pastor, I want you to understand that people will come and people will go. People will come into your ministry and people will change ministry. Truth be told, there's some people, they skip churches. Every month they're going to a new church. Every year they're going to another church. And some of these people will happen to come to your church. Truth be told, I would honestly say try to maintain some level of professionalism while you are being a pastor. Try to maintain certain levels of distance. You know, some people are so nice. Some people are so loving, so genuine. There's some people who are really nice. You grow close to them, especially when you have to work closely to them in ministry. You end up growing so close to them. You become almost friends when you have to work with that person from the ground up, or when that person came into the ministry and helped. Okay, so I have fasting service in like less than 30 minutes time. My baby just woke up. I had to stop. No, I'm continuing. As I was saying, people are really nice. There's some people that will tell you, Pastor, I love you so much. Pastor, I will do anything to help you. Pastor, I will be there for you. Pastor, I'll never leave you. Pastor, there's no other pastor that is nice and loving and powerful as you are. And something happens, and they hear something, and something that was done that does not please them. They don't like how it was done, and they're gone like the wind. And so truth be told, people will come and people will go. It doesn't matter how much you do for them. Truth be told, how many times have I said truth be told? If you're counting, comment, let me know how many times I said truth be told. But in all honesty, you could give, as a pastor, as a leader, you could give someone your eyes and they are not satisfied. They want your ears. You could give them your ears, they're not satisfied. They need your hands. You give them your hands, they want your kidney, your lungs. Even when you give them your heart and you are dead, they're still not satisfied, and people will still move on. You could never give some people enough. They will still move on if they want to move on. And sometimes some of the reason why they move on, some foolishness. Somebody said something about the pastor, or something happened. They misunderstood something. They got offended, and they move on somewhere else. Doesn't matter what you have done or how you have grown. You have helped the person for so long. You have done so much for this person, and they just get up, bam, and they just go. That's just the way life is. So never get stuck up, never get hurt, never fall into a place where you're hurting, you're depressed, you can't bother because people are leaving. Your best members are leaving. Your best tithers are leaving. Yes, I did say that, best tithers. There's so much that go into church that keeps the church afloat. That there's so much work that goes on behind the pulpit, in the office, behind the closed doors, that helps with the upkeep of a church. And so when a pastor's one of a pastor's best member leave per se, if I may put it that way, or someone that works so close to the pastor leaves, it is natural that you're going to feel away. I mean, you grew your church for so long, people are there, and all of a sudden people decide to leave for foolishness. You're gonna feel away. So the next one, you'll be fine. I just want you to know you'll be fine. This is why, guys, if you're watching, you're not a pastor, this is why we need to pray for our pastors. I want you to comment down below. Let me know if you pray for your pastor. You're always messaging, calling your pastor. Pastor, pray for me. Pastor, me not feel good. Pastor, what do you think I should do? Pastor, what a dream I mean. Pastor, what is God saying about my life? How many times have we really taken the time to say, Pastor, I'm praying for you. Pastor, can I babysit for you? Pastor, can I pay a bill for you? Pastor, what can I help you with? Pastor, I'm praying for you. Pastor, be encouraged. How many times do people really take the time to do that? If you're one of those persons that you've been encouraging and praying for your pastor, keep it up. If you haven't been doing that, go ahead right now. Pause this video. Go ahead, call your pastor. Ask your pastor, how are you? I'm waiting. That's okay. We'll wait. I have time. I'll wait on you. Go call. Send your pastor a message right now and say, Pastor, tell your pastor you love him or her, and let them know you're praying for them. I'll give you just like 20 more seconds. Bam. All right, let's go. The next one is, if you are tired, you're tired. If you are a leader or a pastor, if you are tired, you're just tired. There will be days, honestly, especially if you're a leader that does that work on the outside of church, there are days where you will literally just feel tired. Imagine you do an 8 to 5, and then you get home, the kids are all over you. Mommy, 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 daddy, daddy, daddy. Your wife is in your ear. Babe, the bill has to be paid. Babe, I want to go shopping. Babe, this happened today. Babe, the teacher said this about your son. It's like you never get any time to rest, and then you have to pray, you have to respond to messages, you have to prepare to go to church to minister to the people. Sometimes you're really tired, and so with that being said, if you're tired, you're tired. Tan ayayad. There, one Sunday is not going to kill you. One Friday night meeting is not going to kill you. If you're tired, stay in your bed and sleep. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Or if you're tired, you can go to church, call one of your leaders. This is why number one is very important. Let's go back to number one. Number one was, what was number one? Let me see if you guys are listening. Number one was, pastor, you can't do everything on your own. And I did say that as a pastor, you'll have to train persons that can help you. So now that you have become tired, because we're all humans, we get tired sometimes. The people that you have trained that we spoke about in number one, you can call on one of those persons, call an evangelist, call on a prayer warrior, and say, listen, intercessor, evangelist, apostle, prophet, I'm not feeling so well, I'm tired. Can you preach for me this Sunday? I'll pray you up while you preach. I'll come and I'll sit and I'll listen to you. After all, you've been preaching for so many months and years. You not want to sit down. You've been teaching them how to pray and minister for so long, to evangelize and be witnesses. Now you want to know if all that you have been doing is paying off. Have these people been learning? So if you're tired, rest. Truth be told, how many times have I said that? Truth be told, if you go up and you preach while you're tired, if you drop down and faint or have strokes or have heart attack or something happen, your blood pressure. Guys, I must be hungry. I'm thinking about food. If your blood pressure goes up and you faint while preaching, some people are going to say, boy, pastor stressed out. Pastor wife not taking care of him. People will say all kinds of stuff than pray and encourage. So listen, don't do me a favor. Not drop down in front of your congregation. Do me a favor. Do not faint in front of your congregation. People will talk and they will say things. If you're tired, just take some rest. God is not going to kill you. Number 5, if you are depressed or you are ill, take some time. This is something that is not spoken about very frequently, and it is something that we need to address. There are many ministers who are very depressed. For numerous reasons, ministers may become depressed. Say, for example, they have a lot of work doing at church, the work becomes overbearing. Say, for example, family, there's an issue in the marital home. Let me tell you guys something. No pastor is perfect. No prophet that you follow on social media that gets all these thousands of likes and a lot of people watching their videos and stuff. No pastor is perfect. Every minister, every woman and man of God has something that they're dealing with behind closed doors. Some of them, they're battling depression. They don't talk about it because the first thing that people will say is, how is it that you're a man of God or a woman of God and you're depressed? Make him move and go in one deliverance. You listen, you can't over spiritualize everything. While there are some things that deliverance needs to happen, yes, I understand and I agree to some extent. There are some things that you cannot over spiritualize. If a minister is struggling with depression, I would highly suggest that you sit and you talk to someone. If you do not want to go see a shrink or a counselor, every pastor needs a pastor. If you're a pastor, you need someone that you can call on and say, listen, dad, listen, spiritual father, my mentor, whatever. This is how I'm feeling. Is this normal? What can I do to get over this? You must have someone that you can confide in and you can entrust with certain levels of information. Me depressed, me not feel like go to church today. There's nothing wrong with that. There are different levels of depression where you just say, boy, I'm very depressed, me no feel like go to church, me no want to see nobody, me no want nobody call me no want nobody message me and say pray for me. Guys, I'm sorry for the patois. I'm Jamaican, I'm from the Caribbean. I don't want no one to call me, I don't want no one to message me asking me for prayer. I don't want to go to church. I just don't want to see anyone. Not even my wife. I just want to lock away from the kids, from the noise. Just leave me, let me just sit in my loungewear clothes and not do anything. These days happen. However, there's another level where sometimes there's some ministers, they get completely depressed, where they neglect their family, they neglect the work of God, and this level will begin to hurt people around you, because if you're broken and you're hurt as a leader, you can't lead while you're hurting. You can't bleed on people while you're bleeding. You have to be healed. So I would suggest, if you're sick, talk to somebody, find a pastor, find a confidant, someone that pastors you, your bishop. Sit and talk to someone. That way they can help you. There are many pastors who are ashamed to say I'm struggling or I'm feeling depressed, because you don't want people to say you're weak, or how is it that you're a pastor and you're going through this. There's no shame in this. First of all, no one has to know your business. Like, are you gonna walk and tell everybody you're depressed? And nobody has to know what is happening. Maybe the most you could say is a pastor is not feeling well, he or she won't be here for another 3 months, and so the assistant pastor or another district pastor will be taking over for the next 3 months. And nobody got to know what your business is. Let people assume. This is what people will always do. People will assume. If you tell them you're depressed, they will find all sorts of reasons why you are depressed. So might as well just don't tell them anything. You're just not feeling well. Stop telling people your business. Go get some help. It is better you take, hear me, it is better you take 1 month to deal with yourself than having to be forcefully shut down by your own body for an entire year. This is how sickness works. When your body is tired and you refuse to rest, your body there will be a reaction within your body that will eventually make you sick. Had you taken just a day to rest, you wouldn't be sick for an entire week. And so this is something we have to understand. If you're sick, get help. Some of y'all need to stop criticizing and judging pastors because they're not feeling well. There are people who have illnesses. There are people who are going through things. That does not make them any less of a pastor or minister than someone else who is preaching and gallivanting. Truth be told, some of these ministers you see preaching and hyping up and charismatic and all these things, they're battling with some serious issues that you don't know about. They are good with covering things. Y'all, Some of these ministers are so good with covering up. See, preaching is easy. This is what you guys don't understand. Preaching is easy. Prophesying is not even hard. See, when you've been preaching for a long while, you don't even have to prepare a sermon. You can just get a mic and you just begin to preach, especially when you know the word and you've been preaching for a while. Just give me a mic and I'll preach. It could be 12 o'clock, midnight in my sleep. I'm snoring on cloud 9. I'm snoring, and you could wake me up and give me a mic, and I'll just begin to declare. And the woman with the issue of blood, she decided she was gonna press her way in. What happened? They took the coat from Joseph, but even though they take his coat, they couldn't take his anointing. Listen. A pastor can preach anywhere. In the middle of his sleep, he's preaching. On his deathbed, he's preaching. Preaching is easy. So pastors can cover up with preaching while they're still going through something, which is why never judge or criticize someone because they look like they have it all figured out. They don't always have it all figured out. There's some things that you don't know about. Maybe the pastor just had an argument with his wife before they stepped into the church, but they just know how to cover things up. Maybe the pastor cheated or something happened, but he still preaches, he still prophesies. You don't know what's happening on the outside in people's private home. Maybe your pastor has a debt from college that they're yet to pay off. Maybe the pastor is up to his neck with church bills and y'all not paying your tithes, y'all not giving an offering, and the pastor has to be struggling. How will he pay the rent? How will he pay the bills? How will he keep the church going? Pastors have a lot dealing with, and that's just the truth of it. I'm not trying to make this video for anyone to be in the comments and judge me or say, oh, pastors love money and God provides and God will take care of his church. I'm not here to over spiritualize things. There are serious things that goes on in the upkeep of a church that we really need to sit and talk about these things. I believe that pastors, we need to do videos, we need to do sessions on teaching ministers how to maintain the accounting work for the church, the finances for the church, human resource issues. There are many things that needs to be addressed in the church, and we can't just push them to the side. So I want you to understand, pastors are humans. Men and women of God, they're humans just like you. If you cut them, they bleed just the same. Number 6, I want to end this as quick as possible. Number 6, pastor, have fun. I know you preach, you have a lot going on, but have fun. There will be days where you just have to pop your collar, put your hair back, put on your sunglasses, put on your shorts, your slippers, go to the beach, chill with your wife, have fun, go play pool, go to the movie, do something, enjoy, let your hair down and enjoy yourself. You're still human after all. You still have a life after all. You still have a family. I want you to understand the next one is your family. Enjoy your family. Number 7. So number 6 is have fun. Number 7 is enjoy your family. Family is your first ministry. If you're a pastor, you're married, family is your first ministry. Your wife, your children comes first. I know some persons will say the work of God comes first. While I understand your family is your first ministry, if it's not good at home, it can't be good in the church. If you can't keep your family in a good place, or you can't take care of your family, you can't be at peace with your family is in a rut, how will you run a church? How will you take care of a church if your family is falling apart? And so you have to take the time to make sure that you build your family, you spend time with your family, quality time missed out on. You can't get back those time. As a matter of fact, as we spoke, one of the points I gave you was that people come and people go. Some of these people will come, they'll take all they can get and they will go. And then family doesn't leave. Family is forever. Blood is forever. Some people will come and go, but family, they will always be there. So never neglect your family for anything else. Always put your family first. Number 8, sometimes you start over. This is something I want to share with many pastors. Guys, if you haven't shared this video as yet, please remember to share this video. If you haven't subscribed, please remember to subscribe and definitely comment. It's okay to sometimes start over. There are many churches, I'm almost through. There are many churches where sometimes they have to start over. Things happen. The finances were dealt with very poorly. Things were said. Witchcraft was worked. A lot of things happen where people have to start over. Let me tell you something. Wherever there's a church, the devil, the gates of hell will try to prevail. And for many reasons, sometimes churches will have to close and they will have to relocate, or they will have to start over. If you're a pastor, your church is closed, and you have been you've not been pastoring for a while, don't be depressed, don't be discouraged, don't feel like you have failed. Do not feel as though you have failed, you have let God down, or you've let anyone down. Things happen. No, what you need to do is you need to regroup, you need to reevaluate, you need to evaluate the things that you did wrong in the past. And so now that you're going to start over, the things that you have assessed that you have failed with in the past, put them together on a drawing paper and say, okay, moving forward, this is what I need to do. In the past, this is what I did that was not right, so this time around I'll deal with it this way. Nothing is wrong. These things happen. You're not superhuman. Never compete with someone who is going on. You don't know what's going on. They're there, but they're on the brink of shutting down. They're there, but they're stealing money to keep the church afloat. Never try to compare with anyone. Never try to compete with anyone. Never be jealous of anyone. If you get this, you will last longer in ministry. Sometimes you will just have to start over for whatever reason. Don't be depressed. Go ahead, pray about it. Search for a building. Pray that God will bless you with a building. Follow the will and the divine purpose of God. You will start over. Maybe the next time when you start over and God allows you to launch this ministry, it will be way far greater than before. Sometimes God has to allow you to shut down, to remove some people from your life, and so when you start over, you'll soar. So I just wanted you to be encouraged. You're not conquered. Do not feel ashamed that you have to start over. Two more. Number nine is have a prayer team. As a pastor, you have to have an intercessory team. You have to have a team that stands behind you in prayer, that prays you up. Witchcraft is real. I've seen a lot of ministers, they get stroke. I've seen a lot of ministers, they get swollen feet. I've seen a lot of ministers, they go crazy. A lot of ministers become severely sick by the hand of witchcraft. Because why? Because they become so busy that they get tired, they get worn out. And because they get so busy and worn out, that distracts them from seeing and discerning what is happening in the spirit realm. And so the moment that they lose sight of what is happening in the spiritual, that's the moment the enemy comes in and strikes. Bam! Cancer, strokes, sickness, heart diseases, swollen feet, all blindness, deafness, all sort of things happen by the hand of witchcraft. So if you're a pastor, try to ensure that you have a team that bears you up in prayer. Prayer is very important. An intercessory team in your church is very, very, very crucial. The final one is number 10. And I want to say this. After all that you've been through, after all you've done, God will bless you and he will honor you. So number 10 is never feel guilty for your blessing. Hear me, as a pastor, as a minister, there's some people that will say, when you're blessed, there's some people that will say, boy, pastor buy new shoes, pastor buy new suit, pastor driving new car, pastor buy house, church people money. How many times have you heard people say church people money? Truth be told, the man of God is working hard. Listen, when I finish preaching for 2 hours, I preach like maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. On a Sunday when I finish preaching for 2 hours, I feel as though I just did an 8 to 5 shift. It takes a lot. Now, when the man and the woman of God has taken so much time to pour into you, is tired. The man goes home and has no use to his wife. Can't do nothing because he's tired. Has to go to his bed, sleep for the next couple of hours. You're going to be judgeful and criticize the man of God that he bought a new car with your money. You never gave the money to the pastor. You gave it to the work of God. Who cares what the pastor does with it? You gave it to the work of God. I mean, do you want your pastor to drive an old Lambo, what do you call it? An old buggy car or some old ladder car? Do you want your pastor to live on that zinc house? Listen, I know that there are some ministers who are very lavish, who are prosperity ministers that steal people money, but not every pastor is like that. I'm sure you would want your pastor to be blessed, your pastor to look the best. And so pastors, never apologize for the fact that you're wearing a new suit. Never apologize for the fact that you're driving a new car because you're afraid that people will say, oh, church people money, or pastor is a thief, or whatever it is. If you're blessed, you're blessed. If you have a clean heart, a pure heart, you're doing the things of God, you know that you're in the divine will and in alignment with the Holy Spirit. Never apologize for being blessed. You've worked hard for it. You've earned it. I mean, some people don't know where you're coming from. Years ago, you started out with nothing. Years ago, you had 5 members. You hardly could pay your rent for the church. You hardly could pay your bills. You had 1 mic. You couldn't get a proper audio system. You couldn't get a proper video system. You weren't able to do social media live. Know that God has blessed you. You've come a long way. You've earned it. You deserve it. Enjoy your blessing. That's all I want to say, guys. If you've come to the end of the video, I've said a handful. I think I'm at like maybe 30 something minutes. I hope that you were blessed by this video. If you haven't shared, please remember to share this video. Share with a pastor. There's a pastor out there that's going through something that they may not say to you. If you have a pastor, I want you to go ahead, copy the link for this video or share this video with your pastor. I'm sure that they'll be able to take something away from this video. If you haven't subscribed, please remember to tap the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I'm still new at this YouTube thing, and definitely leave a comment. Share. We're almost at 1000k subscribers. I'll be doing a giveaway. I'll tell you guys what the giveaway prize is and what the instructions are as soon as I hit 1000k subscribers. God bless you guys. My name is Shanique Beckford, and thank you guys for watching.